Let's begin by becoming present and aware of our bodies. And by taking a moment to relax our bodies, we allow our mind to relax as well. So, starting from your toes and the soles of your feet, and moving up through the body, just begin to relax each part, each muscle, breathing into whatever part of the body feels tense. Relaxing the legs, making sure they feel comfortable in a position where they won't fall asleep during the meditation. Usually that means keeping the knees below the hips. So lifting the hips with an extra cushion maybe, so that they are above the knees. Relaxing your hips on your meditation cushion. Relaxing your arms in your lap or on your knees. Relaxing the shoulders. And as you relax your whole body, try to straighten up a little more. Straighten your spine and roll your shoulders back into a posture of confidence and openness. They say a meditation posture should have a strong, stable back and a soft front. And moving up to our head is tilted slightly downwards, about 45 degrees. Your gaze is about 2 meters on the floor in front of you. And your eyes can be cracked open to let some light in. Or if it's more comfortable to keep them closed, you can do that as well. Whatever feels comfortable for this meditation. And finally, relaxing your jaw and putting a little smile on your face and allowing all the muscles of the face to relax between the eyebrows, the cheekbones. Allowing your mind to also slow down. Can we begin by stabilizing the mind in preparation for our analytical meditation? And we're going to take the breath as our object, since the breath is something that's always with us. So you have two options. You can rest your breath either at the abdomen, observing as it rises and falls, or by resting your attention at the entrance of your nose and observing the sensations there. Just very relaxed, not trying to grasp at the breath and hook onto it, but rather just standing there next to it and being present with it. Take a few minutes to practice this breath awareness on your own. And with loving kindness and compassion, returning to the breath every time you get distracted. Just relax the mind onto the breath. Shifting gently to our equanimity practice. And remembering you can always come back to the breath at any point if you feel your mind wandering. You can use it as an anchor through the meditation. So, equanimity is this state of mind in which one is free of the pull of attachment to some things, chasing after things that we think are pleasurable or that we want, and an aversion to other things that we think might bring us pain or discomfort. Usually, we're constantly pulled between these two poles, and we're never quite balanced in the middle. And equanimity can be discussed in so many contexts, but for meditation today, we are going to meditate on equanimity towards people in our lives. So, if you have been joining these meditations, you can use 3 of the same people that you've used before, maybe bringing 3 of them to mind: one loved one stranger, and one discomfort person, a difficult person. And if you're joining for the first time, just bring 3 people to mind who fit these categories. One person you're really close to, whom it's really easy to feel love for without too much attachment. One person whom you don't know very well, if at all, pretty much a stranger. And one person who you have a difficult relationship with. Bringing each of these 3 people in the space in front of you, and you're sitting there facing them, with your chest still wide open, your posture still straight and tall, and a smile still on your face. And taking the loved one first, turn your attention to this person and think of all the qualities that you love about this person. Maybe it's the way that they talk to you and listen to you. Maybe you love how they dress and how they hold themselves, or you're inspired by them. Maybe they're just really nice to you. And you may begin to notice, as you think of these things, that most of them are probably relative just to you. That you like them for a certain reason that is very personal to you, but may not apply to everybody else. So we're sort of seeing this person through our own lens, which is completely fine. But it's important to recognize that many people may not see them through that lens. And so, what does that say about who we think they are? This amazing, good person whom we're so attached to. Is that based in reality? Or is it more an illusion of our minds? And now, gently shifting to the neutral person who's sitting in the middle. When you think of this person, when you're looking at them, you probably don't feel any strong emotion coming up inside, neither one way nor the other. Now imagine if this person were to suddenly help you in some way, or do something that you really liked. Notice how your mind shifts. Notice how your attitude towards them shifts. Watch it happen. Suddenly, we see this person with those same attachments that we felt to the loved one, creating this narrative in our heads of how good they are, how they're such wonderful people. And notice how this too just has to do with our own ego perspective. Really contemplate on this. What makes me so attached to certain people and not to others? And now imagining the same person who has done that good deed and made you happy one day. And the next day you run into them again, and suddenly they get mad at you, or they cheat you, they're rude to you. And watch the shift in emotions within your body as you imagine the situation playing out. Suddenly, this person whom you started growing an attachment for yesterday, maybe even told some friends about it, suddenly he seems not so nice anymore, and you want to avoid that person. This happened all in the span of a few seconds, a few moments. Such a quick shift from attachment to aversion, back to attachment. Never quite in the middle there, resting in equanimity. So now with those thoughts, we turn to the third person in front of us, with whom probably you feel more of that resistance, that aversion to them. And it's difficult to do or say nice things to them, maybe difficult to be around them. but also noticing that probably everyone, every single human being on the planet and animal doesn't feel that way. That must mean that there's nothing objectively about this person that is unlikable or negative. But rather, it's just my subjective experience. And now, this last bit might be difficult, and it's important to return to our bodies that have that straight, strong back and the soft front. But try to imagine now that this person whom you dislike so much and has hurt you does something nice to you one day. Maybe prepares you a meal out of the genuine kindness of their heart. Or maybe suddenly they change and they are a different person and they want to make amends. Notice how suddenly that hardness in your heart starts to melt as you imagine this person becoming a friend, even. At the same time, that friend, that loved one, can do or say something one day that really hurts us. That makes them seem more like an enemy now. And notice that this happens in our day-to-day lives. We switch so quickly between these labels. And see now if you can allow those labels to simply dissolve into nothingness, because they're just illusions. And as they dissolve away, our grasping towards them also dissolves away. Our grasping to certain labels and away from others. All of that fluctuation simply dissolves. And it leaves you feeling light as a feather. And resting in this calm, stable state of equanimity. And suddenly, with this space, this breathing room now, there's even space for this light of loving kindness, of compassion, of rejoicing to arise from your heart and spill out from you in all directions. Coming from this calm and stable place. And expanding your mind past the people whom you've been thinking about today, and extending it beyond your home, your neighborhood, the city you live in, the country, the continent, the whole planet, and even beyond it. Really feeling how it feels to be open to all beings, to be able to love and feel compassion for all beings indiscriminately. That is the beautiful state of equanimity, which is the foundation of all the three other Brahma Viharas. And slowly returning to your bodies, which is now just a ball of pure light, shining in all directions. And we close with a brief dedication of equanimity, the equanimity prayer, the last line of the Four Immeasurables prayer. May all beings be free of attachment to some and aversion to others. We can even say the full prayer for today's dedication, since it's the last day. May all beings experience genuine happiness. May all beings be free of suffering and its causes. May all beings abide in empathetic joy. And may all beings be free of attachment and aversion. As you return to your body and your surroundings, just really being conscious of maintaining the thread between your meditation and your day-to-day state. Try not to break that continuum. And remembering that equanimity is part of our Buddha nature. It's already within us, that ability. And we just have to remember it again and again. You can keep practicing this throughout your day and your daily lives, at any moment of the day.